Hello, welcome to another video, and today we're doing something a little bit different and something that could potentially be a little bit uncomfortable. Who knows? But today we're gonna see if I can read a romance. But before I go any further with that, I would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Book of the Month! Thank you so much, Book of the Month, for sponsoring this video. If you are unfamiliar with Book of the Month is a US-only bookish subscription service. The team vet hundreds of books each month to select the best options for readers. It is super popular, really fast-growing, and their mission is to promote new authors, emerging authors, and help readers discover books that they're gonna love. As I say, the team vet hundreds of books, so that gives you less time to do the research on what new release hardbacks you could be interested in. They refine that list and then give you those options so you can spend less time researching and more time reading. But if there's a month where the books that they've selected don't sound quite up your street, there is a skip policy as well, so it's entirely risk-free. You can skip any month that you don't quite like the sound of. And you may be thinking, but the price of new release hardbacks is really high. Not with Book of the Month. With Book of the Month, you can get your first book for $9.99 with the code Let's Go, which is a pretty fantastic price for a new release hardback, if you ask me. Now, the books available in the January selection are as follows. We have The Magnolia Palace by Fiona Davis. We have Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. We have Fiona and Jane by Jean Chen-Ho. We have Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. This cover does things for me. And we have Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly, which is a pretty decent and varied selection of books, if you ask me. And also look at those little Book of the Month things on the spine. They're so cute, but not only that, they have them on the covers here too. And let me just take a dust jacket off because these are beautiful. But we have like the embossing on the naked hardback as well, and they just look so like classic and beautiful. And they all look like this. They're all gorgeous. Out of this selection of books, the one that I think I'm probably most interested in is Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. As I say, one, the cover does something for me. It's just beautiful. But also, they're dying for an escape. It's like this desert island where these people are going on this like blissful, secluded adventure, and it gets a little bit dark and twisty. It becomes clear that as they're like more and more cut off from civilization, the island starts to feel like it's closing in and sending them on a dangerous spiral of discovery. It sounds really thrilling to me, but also that cover is beautiful. But also, something about Love and Other Disasters, possibly because there's a cooking show involved and I'm really into cooking at the minute. I don't normally read a romance, but this is, it's inspiring me to read it. So this is the one we're actually going to be reading today. But on top of those, Book of the Month also offer an add-on service. And here is the add-on book, The Maid by Nita Prose, which is about a hotel maid who is cleaning this room and finds the dead body of a very wealthy man, and then she gets tangled up in being the lead suspect of this murder case, and she needs to prove her innocence and find out who the real killer is, which also sounds super thrilling. And again, beautiful. Like, even the add-ons are these gorgeous, gorgeous books. So yeah, as a service, after vetting hundreds of books and narrowing it down to this selection, it's a great way for you to be able to pick a little something that you're interested in at a fantastic price of $9.99 for your first book with the code Let's Go. But yeah, less time for you to dig out all of the new hardback releases and more time for you to get on with the reading, which is really what we all want. And there's a little bookmark in there too. So once again, thank you to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video, and as it's a US subscription, if you're one of my viewers from the States, remember you can go to bookofthemonth.com and use the code Let's Go to get your first book for $9.99. With that all being said, I'm gonna read a romance, and we're gonna see how that goes. decent chunk in before I give you an update, and can confirm I'm now just over 100 pages in, so I feel like I have thoughts. Obviously this is the beautiful naked hardback. It's so pretty. Right, so this takes place on a cooking show. Our main character is a fan of cooking, and she has a passion for cooking, and she's like a self-taught cook from random cookbooks and online videos and stuff. I just relate. I recently, like over the last year, I want to say, I've got really into cooking myself. So the passion for food in this is something I really appreciate. And I think the passion for food is one of the big reasons that I am actually really enjoying this. I'm not a romance reader, hence this vlog. I don't read romance. So far, I mean, I'm only 100 pages in, so it's not, like, super romancy. But there's a lot of focus on food, the cooking show, the passion for food. There have been some, like, cute moments, but so much of it's about the food and the cooking show. And I just really like that food content, so I am loving that. Also, there have been some funny moments in relation to the cooking show. And it's given me this desire to start watching, like, MasterChef reruns or something. Like, I really want to watch cooking programs. I am definitely about to become the sort of person that puts, like, the Good Food Network channel on, because this has got me excited about cooking shows. So there's just so much food content, and I'm loving that. I will say immediately the writing style was very shocking to me, but that's because I'm not a contemporary reader in the slightest, and the writing style, like, straight away was not what I'm used to, and it was very shocking, because I'm so used to, you know, fantasy writing, that going straight into contemporary monologue style writing, I mean, I can't really compare because I don't read a lot of contemporary, if any. So I don't really know what the style is in contemporary terms. But the first line is, Dahlia Woodson might have been shit at marriage, but she could dice an onion like a goddamn professional. And immediately, like, that writing style was just, like, a bit... Like, I didn't think I was going to like the writing style from that. But the more it's got into food, the more I love it. The writing style has... I don't know if it's grown on me or if I've got used to it. It's probably that I've got used to it rather than it growing on me. But the food content! So much food content! Slicing up a fish and the whole onion talk at the beginning of how to dice an onion like a professional. Lots of other food. There's been a lot of food. There was some kick-ass hummus. And we've just had a conversation about Rice Krispies. Lots of food content. But yeah, I'm 106 pages in, and I'm honestly surprised at how much of a good time I'm having with this. But, again, mainly for the food content. I feel like it definitely has potential to go downhill for me because I'm not a romance reader. But I think the plot of the food and the cooking show is what's gonna, like, keep me fully entertained. And there have been some really entertaining moments, like, for the cooking show. Obviously I don't want to say what, because I don't want to be all spoilery for you. I want more cooking. I want them to cook more. Also, the chapter headers are little onions, which is... the little onions. Can you see that? Adorable. Adorable! I'm gonna continue, but I thought I'd better give you an update. Now that I'm 100 pages in, I feel like I have a bit more of a sense of it. I love the food and the cooking. Dahlia as a character is very entertaining. Like, the way she speaks is pretty entertaining. And London is our other main character. Slightly less entertaining. But I feel like London's probably going to come out of their shell a little bit more as we read. But I really enjoy Dahlia. And the friendship that's blossoming between them is nice. But I'm definitely here for the food, currently. We've just learned something about our main character, Dahlia, and I have never related to a book character quite this much, I don't think. Shocking. But I relate. I really relate. There is no denying it. Call me a fucking convert. I am trash for this book. It's so good. Okay, as expected, there have been some things that I haven't loved in the latter half of the book. However, I can now report I'm up to chapter 16, which is page 239. So I'm getting through it. I might finish it tonight. There have been some things I don't love. There's a lot of, like, personal drama things that are just not my favourite, which is why I don't typically read contemporary, but the food content. And I think putting food and romance together has, you know, resulted in some steamy kitchens. If you know what I mean. But yeah, there have been some things that I don't love and some, like, plot devices. I think this is probably the same with a lot of romances. There are some plot devices that I don't love that just infuriate me. And I get that they're there to make a plot, because otherwise how do you make a romance have a plot, really? And I think this is why I don't lean towards romance, because I don't like these sorts of plot devices. But the way this plot device is also to do with the cooking show makes me way more interested. I honestly think this is a genius combination for someone like me. Because I'm really invested in the plot of this cooking show, although my favourite contestant has been kicked off the cooking show, and I'm a little sad about that. I honestly got a little bit emotional about that, but I'm not going to tell you who it was. Yeah, there's been some things that I haven't loved, but I'm still shocked at how much I am enjoying it. But I have to be honest in saying there are some probably typical romance plot devices that I don't love, which is why I don't read romance. And why I say probably typical romance, you know, plot devices, is because I don't read them. So I don't know if they are, but I assume they would be, because otherwise, like, what would there be? You know, like, miscommunication and, like, a third party getting involved in the relationship and causing unnecessary drama, or family involvement that, you know, I don't like things like that, because I don't like the, like, real life elements. But add the drama of this reality TV cooking show, and I'm garbage. This is so frustrating. I'm on chapter 20 now, page 285. I definitely think I'm going to finish this tonight. But oh my god, this is why I don't read contemporaries. I don't like people. People are so annoying. I'm so mad at these fictional people. And, like, it's not even enjoyable to be this mad at fictional people. Ugh! Miscommunication! Emotional mother-daughter moment. I have a lump in my throat at this emotional mother-daughter moment. God damn, I relate to this character. folks, are we ready for this? I have finished Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly. In the latter half, there were definitely some bits that I didn't enjoy half as much. So, in the beginning, the writing style scared me a little bit, but I think I got used to that quite quickly. And then I was just blown away, really, by how much I enjoyed all of the cooking content, because it takes place on a cooking show. So let's give you a rundown of what this is actually about. This is about a woman called Dahlia who's gone through a divorce pretty early in her life, and to reclaim some passion for life, she takes up cooking, and she goes on this cooking show. And on this cooking show, she meets London Parker, who is a non-binary contestant on this cooking show. And that's a big deal for this cooking show. And it's about how they handle the heat in the kitchen and the growing heat between them. But there's so much cooking content! And I loved the cooking content in the first half of this. And the drama of the cooking show really is what caught me about this, because naturally in the second half it then became much more about the relationship between them, and there were some romancy plot devices that I'm much less interested in. There was like unnecessary drama, communication issues, like third parties getting involved in their relationship, blah blah blah, like people issues which I just don't have the stamina to deal with. So in the second half I definitely enjoyed it a lot less. Change of camera because my battery died and I don't have another battery. As I was saying, in the second half, I definitely liked it a lot less because of the people dramas and stuff. But in the first half, the cooking content was great, and the addition of the cook show, like the cook-off sort of show, very MasterChef style, I loved all of that. And I really loved how it started and ended with Dahlia chopping an onion. That just felt very right for this character. So the cooking content is really what sold me on this, but otherwise I am actually shocked at how much I enjoyed this, and I don't know if it would be a different story if it didn't have the foodie elements that I really liked that gripped me from the beginning. Like, would I have had the patience to get invested in something else that didn't have an element I liked? But I suppose that's the perk of this book, and this is the book that I chose to do for this vlog. I just ended up really enjoying it, and I think if I'm honest with myself, I mean I haven't put this through Corpile or anything, but if I'm honest with myself, this is probably like a 4-star read from me, which is shocking. But yeah, Dahlia was a character I could really relate to in so many ways. Obviously, I am not a divorced woman, but there are a lot of things that Dahlia experiences that I relate to. There are a lot of things that Dahlia feels in her life that I relate to. And the whole finding a passion for cooking being one of the things to drag you out of a hole of sorts, I kind of relate to. So that was also a plus for me. But yeah, in the end, I was invested in their relationship, and in the end, it did get steamy in the kitchen. As you could probably expect from a cooking romance. It got steamy in other places as well, like hotel rooms. But, you know, yeah, I'm surprised at how much I ended up enjoying this, and I absolutely did not see it coming. I suppose a big thing to say about this is that it is a queer romance. Like, I should vocalise that because I realise I haven't really. But it is a queer romance. We've got a non-binary character and a queer character, and there is some other queer rep in here as well. It just shocked me how much I ended up really enjoying it, so in answer to can I read a romance, this very specific one, yes, and I can enjoy it. Maybe I need to give more romances a go. Definitely has to be something with plot. If you have any more, like, cooking romances, feel free to let me know. Maybe I'll give them a go. But yeah, I like the fact that alongside the romance there was this other plot that I could also get invested in. I'm gutted that my favourite contestant did not win the cooking show, but I'm not going to tell you who my favourite contestant was. You'll have to read it for yourself and then talk to me about it afterwards. Anyway, that does bring us to the end of this vlog. I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you once again to Book of the Month for sponsoring this vlog, and remember, my US viewers, if you want to try out the Book of the Month service, you can go to bookofthemonth.com and use code LET'SGO to get your first book for $9.99. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed, give us a thumbs up. Chat to me down below. I can imagine there's going to be some shocked responses to this. And if you have any food romance recommendations, feel free to let me know those down below as well. But otherwise, I shall see you in whatever comes next. Bye!